Hello everybody, welcome back to Mike's Magic Auto Detailing and Paint Enhancement here in Sharpsburg, Georgia. The sun's out, so when the sun's out I can't resist getting out and playing and experimenting. I'll get to that in just a minute. If y'all recall, the other day I really cleaned up Sally, got all the pollen off of her, and as you can see, just a couple hours of sitting outside today. That didn't last long. That pollen thing, that's almost a daily endeavor. But what's on there now, most of that I can take my air compressor with the vortex tip on it and I can blow 90% of that off, and then the rest I'll just take off with a quality wash mitt, high quality wash mitt, some O&R, and then dry it down. It'll be alright, it'll be good, because underneath all that pollen it's clean. But getting back to the point at hand, like I said, when the sun's out I can't resist experimenting. This is a practice tire, and I had some stuff that's relatively new on the market, and I thought I'd get it out and play with it a little bit. It's this stuff right here, Duplicolor Tire paint. I picked this up, I don't know, a week or so back at O'Reilly's. Not very expensive, and a lot of my fellow detailers in my forums and stuff have been really raving about it. And there's some alcohol, IPA solution we call it, I don't know, 20% alcohol, the rest is distilled water. And this is some stuff a guy sent me out of Texas. He's a startup company, just him and his wife. Lone Star Tire Cleaner. So I did that. I used it to clean that tire with. It worked very well, very well. Not sure if I'll actually buy any, but you know, I'll go back and look at the price again and figure that out. This stuff here is not real expensive. I think it was 10 bucks, somewhere around there, a little less, a little more. And that's not bad. Of course, I use my drill brush to clean the tire with, for you folks that are still scrubbing with the old-timey tire brushes. Lloyd, hey Mr. Lloyd, if you're still scrubbing with the old tire brush on a handle, forget about it. If you got a drill, any drill, get you a set of these. They're very cheap. They're called drill brushes. Come in a couple different sizes. I got the one that come in with 3 different brushes. You can go around that tire in a hurry. It beats all that scrubbing and going back. But anyway, I followed the directions on the can for this Duplicolor tire paint. It said do not try to wipe it on, spray it on, but I've noticed a lot of my fellow detailers in the forums and on YouTube, they were spraying it onto a sponge applicator and wiping it on as opposed to what the directions say. And I will probably do that if I use it on a car, because I don't want to deal with the overspray, which, I mean, this is a paint. It says right there, paint. Anytime you're spraying paint, you're going to have overspray. It's, according to them, relatively easy to get off with alcohol or any degreaser or anything. Somebody trying to call me. And I put it on in direct sunlight, which is not generally a good idea. Hey, Miss Debbie, I hope you're recuperating there, girly, from your fall. I would not normally try to put this stuff on in direct sunlight, but I wanted to do kind of a real world experiment under the worst conditions to see how it comes out that way. And as you can see, this, I put 2 coats on. The second coat I just put on less than 5 minutes ago, and it's already covered in pollen. And I guess the only way I could beat that, or halfway beat it, would be to go in the garage and do it. Like I said, I didn't want to do that. Hey, Stephanie! Wow, a lot of people coming on here. Mr. Kelly. So I wanted to do kind of a real world experiment with this practice tire, and I put one quick light coat on. I just sprayed it on like the directions say. It dries to the touch in 5 minutes, and I put a second coat on. And folks, this is dry to the touch. This tire dressing, it's water based. It has no slickness to it whatsoever. It doesn't rub off on my fingers or my hand. I mean, there's a little bit from when I was spraying it, but here, I'll use, this hand's relatively clean, so I'll rub it with that one. Nothing's coming off on my hand except for pollen. But hey, folks, that is a pretty good result right there. I'm sold. I'm sold. I will keep my Optimum tire coating, which I've been using in the past because it works pretty well, but for ease of use and results, I think this stuff is hard to beat. I don't know if you can beat it for the price point. I hardly used any of that can. I just went around it real quickly twice. And for those of you that are wondering what I'm talking about, again, this stuff right here. Got it at O'Reilly's. Of course, you got to get your tire clean before you use any tire treatment, or it's not going to work very well. This was an old practice tire that a neighbor gave me. It was all brown, discolored. Who knows what the history on it is. But I think it cleaned up pretty darn good. It really didn't take me long at all. Good stuff, folks. Good stuff. And you can also get, if you want a higher gloss than this, they also sell a clear spray on stuff, but they just didn't have any. I didn't get any because they didn't have any in stock. But for my purposes, I prefer this sheen on my tires as to a high gloss. And you know, I think that's pretty good, Mike. I'm impressed with it. I'm impressed. I'm glad I got it. Once again, I think you can get it at most auto parts places now. Tire paint. It's good stuff, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. This tire was in bad shape. Like I said, it's an old tire that a neighbor gave me. Hey, Miss Kathy. No. It's a car tire, buddy. It's a car tire. I mean, look how big that is. There's my hand. It's not a motorcycle tire. It's a car tire. It's a Michelin. Where'd that size go? I can't find the size. Oh, there it is. I'll have to get around here. 255, 55R17. It's a 17-inch car tire, Mike. No, it's a car tire. Car tire, truck tire, whatever. It's a passenger vehicle tire. But I'm impressed with that stuff. You know, I'm used to agonizing over getting that Optimum tire treatment on, which is what is on my car tires. But guess what? Next time I do these, I'll strip all that Optimum stuff off, and I'm using that other stuff over there. I'm telling you right now. Hey, Miss Kathy. But I mean, that stuff looks good on my tires, and it lasts a long time. And in my forums and all, they claim that they're getting up to 6 months out of this stuff. But a lot of them are using the tire paint and then that clear spray stuff, whatever that is. Like I said, I would have got some of that, but it gives it just too much of a gloss to my taste. But you know what, if I had a customer that wanted a high gloss, I would do it for them. You know, no big deal. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Teresa, I was just showing everybody the sun's out, so I'm out. And I was playing around with this practice tire here. Man, the viewer on my phone here is already covered with pollen. I ain't been standing out here for just a couple minutes. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I mean, look at all that. Good Lord have mercy. God almighty. And Teresa, yes, Sally's covered with it again. You remember the other day I cleaned her off. What was it, 2 days ago? And she just sat outside while I was working on this tire, and look at her already. Covered. But I'll be able to remove that fairly easily. No big deal. When you're a detailer, no big deal. Most of it would probably just rinse off if I wanted to do that because of that ceramic coating that's on it. But I am impressed with this stuff here. When I first heard about it, I was like, tire paint, yeah, right, okay, whatever. But you know what? I finally decided to give it a try, and man, I'm telling you what, they got themselves a new customer in me. And like I say, make it easy on yourself when you're cleaning that thing. Spray your cleaner on whatever you decide to use on your tire, whatever works for you. And then instead of using the old long handled tire brush, if you have a drill, get you some drill brushes. I mean, man, I just went around that tire maybe twice and cleaned it right up. It's just a lot easier on you than using them old scrubby tire brushes. Trust me on that. Hey, Miss Kimberly Norris. But, you know, for doing this in direct sunlight with pollen falling on it constantly, if this tire was on my car, I'd be very happy with it. Like I say, it dries to the touch, folks, in 5 minutes or less. And you can spray it on, which I probably won't do for tires that are actually on vehicles, because I won't want to deal with the overspray, although they claim that is easily taken off. But I'll probably try it both ways on my car first. Hey, Miss Kimberly, thank you, sweetie. I can't see anything because the face of my phone is covered in pollen. I done wiped it off 2 or 3 times. Good gracious. That gum pollen. Ugh. And it's like I got chalk in my mouth. I can feel it in my eyes too. But folks, let me walk around here and I'll give you some extra views of this. And there's no runs, no high spots. A little bit of blotchiness on the outside here, a little bit. Probably could use another coat, or if I didn't do it in direct sunlight, that probably would not have happened, would be my guess. Maybe next time I'll try it in the shade, get out of the direct sunlight. But like I said, I wanted to try a real world experiment under really the worst of conditions to see how it performed. And under the worst of conditions, indirect sunlight with pollen falling constantly, like I said, I'm sold, folks. I'm sold. All right, I appreciate y'all tuning in here to Mike's Magic Auto Detailing and Paint Correction here in Sharpsburg, Georgia, where the sun is shining for the moment. Hit the like button for me, or the thumbs up, or even a thumbs down. I don't care. If you got any questions about doing this stuff here, or how to do it, where to get it, that sort of thing, you can post a comment down below and I'll be glad to answer any and all questions that you may have. Criticisms, I can accept those. Suggestions, I don't care. And another thing I did today, my neighborhood here has a little Facebook group. Yeah, ain't that the truth, Miss Kathy? Ain't it the truth? Like I say, when the sun comes out, I come out. But I posted a thing today for my neighbors, just for my neighbors. One of the tools in my arsenal of detailing stuff is I do have an ozone generator, and among other things, it will kill V virus. It'll kill mold, mildew, all that kind of stuff if you run it in the car. And I have one. I use it from time to time on various different cars, but I offered to run it in any of my neighbors' cars that want it done for free. So far I've had one inquire, but we'll see. Everybody's, taking care of their kids and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, man, Kathy, telling this is good stuff right here. Good stuff. I'm impressed. That's what I was doing, is experimenting with it here. Of course, using the ozone generator on the interior of the car, it would be better if you cleaned it first. Everybody knows that. It's all about the prep. But that ozone generator will kill damn near anything. Hell, they say it'll kill you if you stay in the car while you're running it. You're not supposed to be in the car while it's running, and then you have to let it air out afterwards. You can use them in the house as well. I'm not sure how big of a room you could do with one that's designed for car interiors, but if you do it on the in a room, you have to stay out of that room till it's finished, and then you have to let it air out before you re-enter and spend any time in there. So if you're going to use an ozone generator, or if you get you one, hey Kathy, be sure and follow the directions, because they can be hazardous if misused. So yeah, pay attention to the directions, folks. Well, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you need any help with anything, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll be happy to answer those. Kathy, Miss Linda, oh wow, good gracious, all these people keep showing up and makes me want to stay on live here. I was just telling everybody, Kelly, I was just telling everybody I did what I call a real world experiment on this practice tire, Kelly. It's a passenger car tire that a neighbor gave me. It's just an old tire. But all my fellow detailers had been raving about this stuff right here. I'll show it to you one more time. I'm telling you, Kelly, it's hard to beat. And I think I've tried every tire treatment on the planet in my business. It is good stuff, I'm telling you. And it's only like 10 bucks, give or take. It wasn't much. And I got it, that particular can, I got it O'Reilly's. And if you want a higher gloss than what's on this tire, they make a clear that you can put over the top of that. I was going to try that. They just didn't have any in stock. So I said, I don't like my higher tires to have a high gloss anyway. And I put this stuff on in direct sunlight. Like I said, I was trying to do a real world experiment, Kelly. I'm sure it would be better if it was done out of the direct sunlight. And in less than 5 minutes, the stuff dries to the touch. It's good stuff. I've got some high dollar Optimum tire coating in there that I normally use. It looks about the same as this, but this is a hell of a lot easier to use and dries much quicker. So particularly for me and my business, it's what I'm going to be using from now on, I'm telling you. It does come in that's an aerosol can, which is okay by me. I know some people don't care for aerosol cans, and you can, the directions say to spray it on, Kelly, which is what I did since it's not mounted. But a lot of my fellow detailers are using sponge applicators. They spray it onto the applicator and then wipe it on, so they don't have to deal with the overspray, which is supposedly relatively easy to deal with. But I'll probably try the sponge applicator. I just didn't have any. I don't have one because I normally don't use those for anything. But I think you can get them at AutoZone, places like that. And I'll probably pick up a couple next time I'm in town. Good Lord knows how long that's going to be. Oh, man. But yeah, spraying it on works extremely well. They say that, you know, an IPA solution, you know, alcohol and water, or any cleaning degreaser will just wipe it right off if you do get overspray. But yeah, easy to get the overspray off the body of your vehicle, but some of these wheels, man, it's hard to get in all those little nooks and crannies, and you just lost the quickness and ease of application when you have to deal with the overspray. So I'm going to try the sponge applicator. I've seen a number of videos where they did that, and it seems to work rather well, contrary to the directions on the can. They say don't do that, but hey, if it works, it works. But anyway, I do appreciate everybody very much, and I'm going to find another experiment to do here shortly. Not sure what it is, but I'll find something to do. All right, folks, I appreciate y'all. Thank you.